How long does it usually take to get to B2?
How long does it take to speak a language?
How long does it take to learn a language to B2?
How long does it take to study?
How long until you can
how
how
long
long
do you
you
reckon it would take me to get to B2 to master the German language?
This is a question that comes up a lot. I mean, a lot. All over the internet, wherever they discuss language learning, whether you're on Discord or Hello Talk, Conversation Exchange, Reddit, the old Duolingo forums, anywhere where they discuss language learning, you're going to see some variation of this question being asked very frequently. How long is it going to take me to become fluent in my target language? Sometimes you'll see it with a qualifier on it, like if I spend 30 minutes a day, every day, studying and practicing, how long is it going to take me to get to fluency? Or you'll see a specific tool or method being mentioned, like if I use Duolingo every day for 6 months, will I be able to speak Spanish fluently? I really don't like this question, and I want to be clear at the start, I'm not irritated or annoyed at the people asking this question because it's a perfectly natural question. In fact, when you first start out with language learning, if you've never tried to learn a language before, it's one of the very first questions that's going to occur to you. How long is this going to take? Just give me a ballpark figure, I just want to know what I'm up against. The reason this question annoys me is because it gets asked very, very, very frequently, and also because the answer to the question almost always is, it depends. It depends first and foremost on what you mean by fluent. Let's talk about that word fluent. What does it mean to be fluent in a language? If you ask 10 different people that, you're going to get 10 different answers. Nobody's got a good objective definition of fluency. If you can hold a basic conversation in your target language, does that make you fluent? Some people use the term conversational, like, oh, I'm conversational in French. What does that mean? Well, I can hold a really basic conversation as long as it comes at me really slowly, and as long as I've got like someone who's very patient with me and can repeat things many times so that I can understand what they're saying, then yeah, I can have a conversation in French. But as soon as the vocabulary gets too advanced, or as soon as the speaker starts speaking too rapidly, I just lose it. I can't understand what they're saying. Does that make you fluent? Well, a lot of people would say no. Fluency is more of a mastery of the language. So if you can hold an advanced conversation in the language, does that make you fluent? If you can hold a conversation where you understand most, maybe not everything, but most of what's being said to you, and you don't have to stop and ask someone to repeat themselves over and over, does that make you fluent? Or do you believe that fluency is complete mastery of the language, where you never have trouble understanding someone who's speaking to you, or something that you're reading, where you never come across a word that you've never seen before? You always are able to translate anything from your target language to your native language, and vice versa effortlessly. Is that how you define fluency? Because by that yardstick, I'm not even fluent in English, my native language. I've been speaking it my whole life. And I still occasionally, granted not very often, but I still come across words every now and then that I don't know, that I've never seen before. And yes, I still occasionally make mistakes in English. Does that mean I'm not fluent in English? Now, yes, there have been attempts to create a standardized ranking system to gauge somebody's skill level in their target language. I've mentioned CEFRL a few times, the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. This is the European scale where they divide language ability into 6 categories, ranging from A1 beginner up to C2. But this is not a perfect ranking system. There's problems with this. First of all, it's possible to be in more than one category at the same time. How's that possible? Well, think about it. Your reading skills might be fairly advanced. Maybe you've spent a lot of time practicing your reading comprehension and you're at a B2 level for reading comprehension, but your speaking comprehension is poor because you rarely have actual conversations with people, so your listening comprehension is more like A2. And then your formulation ability, your ability to actually speak sentences on the fly in this language, is very poor because you rarely practice doing that. So maybe you're an A1 when it comes to speaking. You can be in multiple categories at the same time, and these categories aren't discrete steps where it's very clear where you rank. This is more like a gradient. This is more like a gradually increasing gradient. Where are you? What's the difference between B1 and B2? Can you very clearly distinguish between someone who's at a B1 level and a B2 level? There's no specific point. It's not like graduating up when you're back in grade school. You're finished with 6th grade and now you're moving up to 7th grade. You're very clearly in one grade or the other. With this scale, it's more like, I'm sort of around here, maybe, I guess, I don't know. On a good day, I'm maybe B2. On a bad day, I'm B1. If I'm drunk, I'm A2 because I lose my language abilities. And we've got to answer the question, at what point on this scale would you call yourself fluent? Well, again, it depends what you mean by fluent. So, do you have to wait until you get to C2 level before you can call yourself fluent? Well, most language learners never actually get to C2 level. C2 level is very advanced. It takes years or sometimes even decades to get there. So it's a target that you may never actually hit in your target language. Now this question, at what point can you call yourself fluent? This came up on Reddit recently, and the general consensus seemed to be that somewhere around the B2 or C1 level, you could call yourself fluent. But it comes with a little asterisk attached to it. Fluent meaning, yes, I can hold conversations in this language, I can understand most of it, but I struggle. I struggle with it. I don't understand everything, and I can't translate everything. I come across words that I don't know, and sometimes I have difficulty expressing myself because the syntax and grammar is very tricky. I make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. You can still be fluent even if you're making mistakes in your target language. At least in my opinion. So let's get back to the original question. How long will it take to become fluent? Let's say I set my target at B2 or C1 or whatever. How long will it take me to get there? Well, the answer still, even if you've tried to nail down your definition of fluent, the answer still is going to be, it depends. It depends on what method you use. It depends on how much time and energy you're willing to put into it. It depends on your own ability to pick up new languages. If you've never done this before, you might not know if you're linguistically inclined or not. Some people are. They can learn new languages relatively easily. Some people are not. It's more difficult for them. You have to adjust your expectations accordingly. The best advice I can give is to set realistic expectations. Don't expect that you're going to be fluent overnight. If you fall and prey to one of these learn French in 30 days or everything you need to know about German in 2 months or whatever it is, these products are scams. They're just trying to sell you something. You're not going to become fluent in 30 days in any language. Understand that it's going to take time. Well, how much time? Yes, it's a natural question. It's an obvious question. It's one that's going to occur to you very early in the process. How long is this journey going to be to get me to where I want to go? There is no definite answer. I know that's not very satisfying, but it's the truth. No one can tell you how long it's going to take you to get to your language learning target. So if I could boil it down to something, I would say this. Don't think of it like hitting a specific goal within a certain time frame. View it more like it's a journey. Language learning is a journey that you go on. It takes time. How much time? Don't worry about it. It takes time. The answer is it takes time. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. You have to want it. You have to practice a lot. It takes a lot of repetition. It can be boring at times. It can be frustrating at times. It can make you want to quit, but you have to push through. You have to keep going. And you will get there eventually. You'll get there in little tiny steps. A lot of them. A lot of very small steps. All combined together, one after the other after the other. At times it'll be so slow, it might not feel like you're even making progress, but you are. You are making progress towards your goal, always. As long as you just keep moving forward. And that goal of becoming fluent, your definition of fluent may change as you go through the process. You might have started out with the expectation that, well, I can learn this entire language in 30 days. And 30 days later you realize, wow, there's a lot more to this than I thought there was. I've got to adjust my expectations. And 6 months later you're still learning. And 5 years after that you're still learning. You're still coming across words you've never seen before. You're still having trouble expressing yourself. It's normal. It's natural. It happens. Even in your native language, occasionally this will happen. It's fine. It's okay to make mistakes. It's part of the learning process, and this is a journey that basically never ends until you want it to end. You can keep studying and practicing every day for the rest of your life, and you might never get to that C2 goal, but that's okay, because you get better as you go. And you get to the point where the mistakes that you make are fewer and further between, and it's not as big of a deal as it used to be because you can correct yourself. So, how long will it take me to become fluent in my target language? My answer to that is, it takes time. Oh yeah, but how much time? It takes time. Give it time. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's a journey. It's a journey that you start on. It's a wonderful journey. It can be a lot of fun. It can be very rewarding and enriching, but it takes time. Don't expect overnight results, and don't think that you're going to master this language in a few short weeks or even a few short months, because it's not going to happen. And I don't say this to be discouraging. I say this as a reality check for people who are just starting out learning a language for the first time, or learning a second language for the first time, I should say. And they genuinely don't know what they're up against. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's very difficult. Yes, it'll take a lot of time, but it's not impossible at all. You can do it. One step at a time, you can do it.